here we have a cuddling session with the cow at Krishna Cow Center, and here's Narayana Das that I met today, and I want to ask him about this farm. How did it start? What's the idea behind it? What's the philosophy? Tell me about it.
I got my first cow 10 years ago when I moved to the Big Island. She's over there, Boomy. And I got her because, for one, I had heard that protecting cows and respecting cows and honoring them was part of Vedic culture, and I'm trying to practice that. And on the other side, practical consideration, I needed fertilizer. I wanted to grow my own food and live off the land. And I was going to the store to buy fertilizer, and I realized, hey, what's the point of growing your own food if you're buying fertilizer? And so I look into it, what's the best fertilizer, the best local sustainable fertilizer? Cow manure. This is the position of the ancients and the moderns. And so I go, okay, I'm gonna get my first cow. And ever since then, I've just been learning more and more about cows, falling more and more in love with cows, getting more cows. We're a sanctuary for cows, of course, so we never sell or kill any of our bovines. They're all protected for life. Now, you might have realized I just said bovine there instead of cow.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, cow just means the girls.
Okay.
Bovine is the larger umbrella term, which means the bulls, the cows, the steers. Steer is a neutered male. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, Krishna Cow Sanctuary is the name, but we're really a bovine sanctuary. Okay. And so we take in orphans, we take in rescues. And the idea being human-bovine symbiosis. How can we live together with the cows? The cow just came up to the camera for anyone wondering. You might want to check she didn't turn it off.
You got your first cow, and how do you usually get these cows? Do you find them and save them?
Good question. So my first cow, Boomy, I put it out there that I was looking for a cow, and she was just a family cow of someone who then ended up contacting me and giving her to me on the condition, of course, that I wouldn't kill her or sell her. And I was like, hey, that's our whole MO here, is we're not going to sell or kill any cow. And the idea too being is the teachings of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He was the monk who kind of brought the Krishna consciousness, if you will, to the West.
Okay.
And his main teaching was that the cows are the source of all wealth, and the cow protection is the duty of humankind. And man, it started based on faith, right? Like, okay, but now it's practically proven. Everything in my life, all the wealth I have, abundance, all coming from the cows. And so for me, it's not faith anymore. It's something you know, right? Faith, you kind of have to believe something, right? But this is like, oh no, that's a fact.
That's
100%.
your life.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're showing others. I like that tourists people would come here and see a different relationship between the animals and with the animals and human connection. And after spending with these cows literally 20 minutes, I feel calm, I feel happy, I can't stop smiling, and that's why I do believe that yes, cow is a sacred animal, and it's like I would say it's like mother that nourished the humanity. Mm-hmm. And it's a different way to look at this animal.
Oh, 100%. And I love that you said cows are the mother, because that's the Vedic conception. And here's the problem, though, is most human beings have never met their mother cow.
Yeah.
So imagine when you first come here, most people who come here have never touched a cow or seen a cow. It's almost like they're reuniting with their long-lost mother for the first time. And they get a hug from mom, and people cry when they get a hug from the cow. And I'm like, oh, it's totally normal. Like, don't worry, people do that. Like, try it out, let it go. And just the other day, we had someone here who said they can't stop smiling. Some people, they're joking in a way, but people as they leave, they say, I cured my depression. You know, and so the idea being is, just the presence of the cows is so healing and so beneficial. The problem is now, increasingly so, less and less human beings have any connection with cows. If you go back, just like you were telling me, your grandparents and cows, even just 500 years ago, 1 out of 5 humans worked with cows.
Yeah.
Now it's like 1 out of 1,000 or even less. And now 1 person to 1,000 cows, maybe to 10,000 cows. It's just becoming more and more impersonal. And our whole spiritual practice is personalism. And so we're very against this impersonal idea of letting the robots milk the cows and harming the cows, keeping them in factories. No, we want to showcase cows living in their natural environment and still providing a lot of gifts and benefits to us at the same time.
cows, I just want to ask you about the benefits of drinking pure cow milk.
Oh, of course. Yes. I'm probably the best person to ask because I've made the experiment with my own body where probably about 50% of the calories I intake every day are from my own cows. Their milk, their yogurt, flabber, kefir, all the most amazing products. I couldn't live without them. I get a little mini panic attack myself if there's no milk in the fridge. I milk cows every 12 hours, but if there's no milk in the fridge, and I understand how the baby cows feel now. And they're like, Mom! It really is, guys.
Babies.
So I've been vegetarian my whole life. I went vegan for ethical reasons when I turned 18. I was living in the city on Oahu. I moved here, got my first cow. I wasn't milking her, right? I just she was an older cow. And then I realized that I need to go learn more about cows. I can't just, I want to give the better care to this cow. So I went and I started work trading at a local Krishna homestead. And that's when I first saw cows being milked by hand with the babies nursing right on the other side. And I was just like, wow, my God, like there's extra to share? I had always been under the impression that you have to take all the milk. But no, actually a mother cow will make 3 or 4 times the amount of milk a baby can drink if they're well cared for, if they're well fed. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then the milk was offered to me and I was like, let's try a sip of that. Now, mind you, I've been vegan for 2 years at this point. So I have a sip of raw milk and grass-fed from loved cows, probably the best quality type of milk you can get. And immediately I was just like instantly addicted. I remember I put the milk down, I was like, wow, that's so good. I put it in the fridge, I walked maybe 6 steps. My body was like, made me turn around and walk back to the fridge to drink more milk. And it's because your body knows what's good for it. And so I've been, I think, starved for that high quality animal fat and animal protein. Yeah. Now here's an interesting thing in Vedic understanding. We realize that we're told that human beings need animal fat and animal protein to thrive, especially for our brains. The problem is, though, Ayurveda also recommends not killing or eating animals. So you go, well, that seems to be a contradiction. Where from do we get this animal fat without any killing? Yep. That is why the cows are so sacred. They satiate humanity's desire for flesh with their milk. They're almost giving their flesh and their blood in the form of their milk. That's another reason why they're so sacred. They allow us to get our necessities without any killing. And so we're able to elevate our consciousness at the same time nourish our brain. So both the activity and the product are conducive to higher levels of consciousness.
Yeah, and do you know anything about the effect of milk to your brain when you drink it? Like, what effect does it have?
Well, according
qualities.
According to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the milk is essential for building, nourishing, and maintaining the finer brain tissues. So the idea being, you've probably heard like the brain gets more and more wrinkles, right, as it gets more information and grows more efficient. And the idea being to nourish the finest, wrinkliest tissues, if you will, you need this high quality fat. And you see it for people who are starving of this fat. They have a hard time staying on point. They have a hard time focusing. And I call it like a vata imbalance. Basically, they're kind of just like flying around in the air.
Too much
and
air.
Yeah, their brain is like, can't stay on one point. They get taken from topic to another topic. Even in their day, you can see what they do, right? Where you start drinking milk, all of a sudden, grounded. The cow is the epitome of a grounded animal. 4 hoofs, they move very slow. Everything is very meditative. And so by consuming the cow's milk, your brain starts to take on their qualities. What are the qualities of a cow? Peaceful, content, charitable. They're giving to everyone. If anyone can come and milk a cow and take some milk, they're giving even their food, the grass. They don't kill it. They just take the little tips. So we can learn from that. Oh, don't take too much. Just take what you need, right? And from those little tips from everywhere, immediately they add some manure and some urine to regrow. So they're always reciprocating from where they're getting their energy. And you can learn all these things from cows. Tolerance, right? They're in heat, they're in rain, they don't care. And so they are really like, I think, the strongest, most evolved species on Earth. Yeah. And the more we can attach ourselves to cows in symbiosis, the healthier and stronger we're just going to be on so many levels. But particularly that brain health. I felt it myself, 10 years now, consuming raw dairy, lots of butter, lots of ghee, and I just feel very...
Nothing pasteurized.
Nothing pasteurized. They're just... Sometimes people think, oh, but isn't it dangerous, if you don't cook the milk? I go, well, for all of human history, milk was consumed raw. It was only in the last 100 years that they think, oh, it's dangerous, we need to start cooking it, and we need to start homogenizing and doing all these things. But in reality, the milk isn't any dangerous itself. It's human mismanagement of cows. When cows are kept in a factory condition, on concrete, up to their own ankles in their manure, of course, those are not clean conditions, so
Yeah.
you're going to have problems. But when the cows are on fresh grass and they're always going to fresher grass, milked by hand, it can't go wrong, man.
Eating pranic food, right?
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that. So in our modern understanding of nutrition, we have like calories and fat and protein. But actually, Ayurveda doesn't really talk about any of that so much. It's all ojas and like where's the mana is the Hawaiian word, right? But just energy, vitality, if you will. And so we eat these foods that are month old from the store in plastic packaging and think they're going to bring us vitality and energy. They're dead. And so the more you can get living foods, so everything I grow with the cow manure and the cow urine. So the food itself is being fed with the best ingredients, making more mineral-rich, nutrient-dense food, more prana, just food that's better. And the cows are the ultimate concentrators. They go around and take just the best bits of everything, concentrate it, and then give you the end product, right?
Yeah, and end product is even better than the product that they take at the beginning. Because
Oh, it's, yeah.
cow poop is very useful for many cases. You can build with it, you can make fire, and
Oh, have you heard of methane biogas?
yes.
Where they capture just the gas from the cow manure, and that alone you can replace propane or heating. And
wow,
so
that's actually a great idea, right?
yeah, and so it's like, wait a minute. We don't even need batteries or solar panels. All we need is cows eating grass. You can generate electricity from cow manure gas. There's a company, a dairy company, that runs an entire bus off of compressed methane biogas from their dairy. And so the proof of it's already out there. It's done all around the world. Of course, in the United States, we have a lot of barriers to energy self-sufficiency. But the point being is that not almost, every single problem we're facing on Earth, whether it's food, energy, security, it can all ecology, everything can all, even the way we're mistreating each other, you can trace it all back to this horrible way we're treating cows and the way we're exploiting and abusing cows. And as soon as we can flip that, you're going to see the whole world just flourish. I mean, we're kind of a microcosm of it right here. I'm like a living example, just taking care of cows, and all of a sudden, all this beauty just starts just orbiting around the cows, right? You know, it's funny. I have a funny story to tell. When I went to India in 2012, and I went to like an astrologer or palm reader, and he's like, does my whole thing. You know, it took a while, and then finally he's telling me all about myself, and everyone likes to hear about themselves, right? So I'm like sitting there, ooh, yeah. And then he says, "Oh my goodness, so lucky." And he goes, you, oh, she's about to lay on you. Just watch out she doesn't bonk you at the horns. But he goes, you will be surrounded by females. And I go, oh yeah. Fast forward 10 years later, I'm surrounded by like 90 cows looking at me. I'm like, oh, he didn't specify the species there. That was pretty funny.
That's super interesting.
So you get humor built in with the cows too. It all comes. Hi there, guys. Cow cuddlers. We'll have to take a break for 1 second.
Thank you so much for your answers.
Oh, no worries.
Interesting information.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, you guys are already ready. Thank
Let
you.
me turn off the camera and
Hey guys,
hide
there's not much
baby.
over, but always watch your toes around the cows.
Okay.
They are large, no matter how cuddly they are. Usually.
Yes, that's the fresh milk.
What is it coming from? Right here. I can't eat this. I love to eat this. This is the magical alchemist here. They're turning the trash into the gold.
I would say they're turning pranic energy into more nutrient dense food.
They're compounding pranic energy. You know of annual interest accounts where you get a little bit every year? Cows are putting this pranic energy into a compounding account, which is like growing on itself exponentially. And so actually a cow's 25% of their dietary protein is coming from the bacteria in their first stomach, meaning they're not even living off the grass itself. They're living off of the life that lives off the grass in their first stomach.
Wow.
And that's how much life a cow creates, right? Everything around them. You go look at a cow patty, you flip it upside down, it's got a whole ecosystem in there. Worms, millipedes, beetles, fly larvae. Birds are coming to pick out those and eat them. Birds are pooping out seeds from another place, increasing the biodiversity. It's a magical symphony of nature that happens with the cow.
Wow, I love how you explain it.